live with the succubus herself, Lilith reincarnated. I'm not gonna give you all the fucking intro. Go catch the fucking intro. This is an outro. I was laughing. The Holy Spirit, we're all laughing and shit. And I was like, nah, you tried to sell me a fucking lemon. You sold me a lemon, bro. What am I talking about? I mean, just arguing with the Holy Spirit. So, let me bring you up to speed. Not possible. I move at the speed of light. Anyways, let's just tell you love and lighters what's going on. Steve's Love Tarot said that X-Nate on the Oopids Day, don't crash your boat, right? Don't crash your brand new car, which is your new relationship, right? Nah, bro, I test drove that shit and the fucking wheels fell off. They sold me a lemon, bro. Do I look like I give a fuck? Ask me again. Do you give a fuck? Nah, bro. I didn't make it 3 years of twin flame bullshit not to be let down by the universe. That's it. It's just a big fat letdown. In the essence. So then here comes Steve again. Don't be making mistakes. That's your perspective, dude. That's your perspective. Handle with care. Be caution. Take wind. I hear that. I hear that since, never. I've never listened to that. Who am I? Lilith. Oh, You will never ever know how to deal with me until you really recognize who and what I am. I am unrestrained fucking God in the female form. All-knowing, but yet no knowing. All-knowing of everything before, no knowing of what lies in front of me. That's it. The Fool. Welcome to the tarot deck. In the essence, you're just supposed to go out there and fuck it up. What do you think? We learned in our last couple journeys, we don't listen to the thinking. Thinking doesn't really get us anywhere. We've done that. We spent this whole time not thinking. So then you come out and you think about it and you're like, hey. So what he's saying is, first off, you're contradicting what you said in your fucking full moon reading. You're full of fucking moon energy. You don't really, no, just kidding. It's just his perspective, and that's just where you stand in your own intellect and how you feel about things. I'm Lilith. I feel free about it. And if you didn't believe that, you could go back to my teaching that I have fucking Sagittarius in 6 places of my fucking 6 placements. I'm all about that adventure. Optimism. It'll be okay. Let's just go. Take your shot and go. Take your shot and go. It's not really about the prize at the end of the fucking... It's about the journey. And that's what I try to teach you. And that's just me and my spirit, bro. So I look at everything with that spirit, bro. If I feel inclined, then I'm going to give it all I got. And in essence, I'm not going to sit there and take fucking love notes of how to be a girlfriend with you. Nobody really is going to learn. I mean, that's what got you guys all fucked up, is listening to someone tell you how to love somebody and what love was and how you should act and where you should go out to eat and what you should do, and don't have sex the first time and don't text them the next day and blah, 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 blah. People are only uncomfortable of it because they were told not to do it. But they feel it. They just don't act in those fucking feelings. And why? Because they're crazy. They're uncontrollable. You're going to be diving all in, just like he said, trying to get married and have babies. I told you. I've got my wedding dress and my fucking lingerie. 3 fits, dude. That's it. We're done. And then what? And then we live together. We learn to live together. What is so hard about that? You guys just you practice living with people until you live with them, and then you've already lived with them long enough. Then where do you go from there, Russ? Where are you supposed to go from here in your relationship? You lived together for the last 2 years. Now what? You make babies and get married, if that's what you're supposed to do in this relationship, if you want this person to do that for you. Such a funny perspective on it. But in the essence, everybody's got their perspective of how you should live your life, and they want to protect you from making the wrong mistakes. They're not going to protect you because you're going to make that mistake eventually. If I didn't do it this time, I'm going to do it next time. And every time until I learn from my mistakes. And is it a mistake, or is it just the way that I am? And that's where it goes back to the Lilith. I'm not with restriction, dude. I listened to a whole day of Adam tell me what the names of everything in the garden was. That's about all I've ever listened to of mankind. Are you serious? Yeah. Every life after that, well, we could talk about this life that I'm reliving, but every life after that, I was above man. I was their goddess. They worshiped me. They did what I said. They knew my connection to God. There wasn't all this bullshit. Blah, 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 blah. In those pictures, though, there still was no man. God told me to just, lay with this man and have his kids. So in essence, it's not really, high priority, but it's the priority. God's priority, I guess. So I'm just like, whatever you say, God. And, he's welcome to send whatever he wants at me. I feel like it's just, dodgeball at this point. And that's what it is. In the beginning, he was teaching me to love without restriction. And I couldn't learn that. I had to keep controlling it. I had to try to make it look good. I tried to, I tried to hold back. No, don't say that. Don't do that. Don't reach out. Don't look a fool. Don't do this. Don't push them away from you. Don't do this clingy, weird shit that girls do. Nope, God said. And I would cry, and that's the ego death for someone like me. It's like, oh, I acted a whole fucking fool with your bitch ass, bro. Like a whole fool. And God told me to. So in essence, he was training me to, feel comfortable to act like that when the time comes. To not hold back. So then you go way back to Christmas, right? And with Bobby, they just want me to fucking act in it. And I don't want to face him because I know no matter what, he runs away. So where the fuck is this supposed to go? And that's it. It was practice. You know what I mean? In the sense of, that's what Kobe was trying to point out. It's like, you can act yourself with them and there won't be any repercussions. He'll go away and it'll be fine. And I didn't see it that way because I'm supposed to be acting like this to get to be with someone, not push people away. But I see what it's doing after so long, and that's what it is the more I act in love, the more they run from it. So I'm like, well, act a fucking fool. Because really, if me acting in love is always going to scare you, or at some point it'll get to a point where it scares you, then you were never right for me. And that's what I mean. You were a lemon just waiting to break. And that's where I stand. It's like, let's rip their heart out and see what they're made of. I'm going to put if I'm test driving this car and I'm about to fucking give my life savings to this car, you know what I mean? And put my whole family in this car, and we're about to live out of this car, and this car is about to be everything to me and my family and my future. Best believe we're taking it for one hell of a test drive before I put my fucking soul on the line for this. Yeah, I'm going to hit I'm breaking all the rules on this one. I want to see what it can do before I fucking dedicate myself to that. And it's not like, I kind of was. I got to be honest. I was playing like 21 questions, bro. And that's where I was like, he didn't have the answers. And it wasn't based on the fact that he didn't know, because that's where I stood back. I was like, he don't know. Okay, forgive him, for he knows not nothing. Okay, cool. But then I saw the mirror effect that's what he was doing to me. Was he was trying to see if I was going to be something too. But his something versus my something were totally not the same something. He wanted me to be this version, this Matrix version of a female. Like, simple shit, bro. Like, right off the bat. And it's like, you're trying to conform me. I'm just trying to see if you can, you know what I mean? If you can withstand the heat. And right away, you're trying to conform me into something. And that's never going to work. You can't never, ever tell me what to do. I am the definition of rebellion. I'm not going to listen to you. I listen to God, and that's it. I promise you. I promise you. I will take into consideration what you said and where it's coming from, which is a good place in your heart, where you're coming from a fear-based mentality. That's exactly what came out of Steve's mouth and every other tarot reader, where they tell you to, proceed with caution. Don't make no mistakes. Make sure you wear the right clothing, and you do this and you say this and this and that, and they're going to like you. You're not going to like me. You're going to love me. You're going to respect me, and apparently you're going to fear me. We shoot way past likes around here. I'm not out for the likes. Make sure you like, subscribe, and tell your friends. Ha! They're not going to like me either. They're going to fear me. But they're going to respect me. And that respect is going to turn into a whole lot of admiration and love. And that's good enough. In the essence, it's like, God wants this for my life because he thinks, this is. And so I'm not supposed to hold back. That's what I've been training for. With each one of my twin flames, I could not I had internal blockages that would not allow me to just be free in my free-flowing, loving self with these men. It had really nothing to do with him. It was a pride-built matrix of my mind that I won't do this with you. Even though I'm inclined to do it and I want to give myself to you like this, I'm not going to cross this line with you. And I went through 12 twin flames of reprogramming my brain where I could cross those lines and I could feel comfortable doing these things again. And that was all protective mechanisms of trying to, make sure the past didn't happen again. That I didn't fall in love, act a fool, and get taken advantage of. Do you see now? My biggest fear had to be played out. That's it. And what did I learn from it? How good it felt to fall in love. And they only take advantage of me for as long as I let them. And nobody really gets anything out of it. I just get my feelings hurt. I don't have physical relationships, though. I got all of these imaginary ones that are mirrors, that they're just, they reflect back all of the fucking shit I need to heal about myself before I can be in a real relationship with anybody. A lot of rehabilitation, stuff like that. But going into it, when you get to this mastery level, it's all in. I trained to be all in. I trained to be a good girl. I trained for this. It's like, don't hold back. I'm going to fucking rip his meat off his bones. This is what I said in the video. He said, there's no meat on the bones. It's like, I'm going to rip the meat off his bones. You call it a boner. I want to know why. And then you go back to his new moon and he's like, you're about to have a sexcapade and all this shit. And you need to do this for yourself. You're being contradictory. Is this for everyone or who or what? Who? Huh? What energy did you wake up in today? Mother Mary? I'd be like, I'm trying to be a Mother Mary. The whole universe laughs at me every time I try to say I'm going to restrict myself in some type of way. I said, yeah, watch this. Let me push this button and watch you go cray-cray. And that's what it is. They want to see me go crazy. Why? Because the craziness that's inside of me is the craziness that God created me to be. It's not crazy in the mind. It's crazy in the feelings. It's like being expressive in your feelings. And that's where all that creativity comes from, the chaos. Baby step yourselves into new relationships and all that. Sure, go ahead. Or just master it, bro. Kobe said it was practice, and I would cry at him. I'm not practicing. I'm trying to win. I can see myself. It's so sad to think of me as like so small-minded back then. I couldn't see the bigger picture. It doesn't matter. But that's what it was, is each of these men forced me to be braver and braver and braver and braver. Oh, man. I think about the things I've said. And they're ready for me to go out there. And that's why I'm screaming, oh my God, you guys are going to do this again? It's game time, bro. It's all lights. All of the lights. Meaning, here she goes. Let's see if she can do everything we taught her and not get her feelings hurt. And that's what happened last week. I stood up for myself. I did almost everything right. And I didn't get my feelings hurt. As I said that, I felt the change in the wind. Oh, it's beautiful. That's really what it is can you have an experience without that experience crushing you? Can you take it as all good? And that it's really, there's nothing bad about what happened. Can you just be grateful for the experience? Now, your cards and your visual mindset of where you were on Friday when you let that video out versus where you at on a Wednesday is quite different. The messages you're delivering on Mercury are very different than that Venus message you was given out. My messages be quite different as well. And that's it. That's to everyone else. It's like you go from one extreme to the other as the wind blows. Indeed. You know what I mean? The universe is filled with chaos, and the chaos flows through us. You know what I mean? As the tree of life, as an open antenna, it just flows. And as the queen of fucking cups, or the high priestess, we go through the flow. We just let it flow through us. We're just an expression of the energetic flow. And going into that, it's like, I just pulled the Emperor card. You're telling the Emperor not to ride that pony? That's a dirty ass song. Genuine. Punchlines. Punchlines. My Holy Spirits want to sit back with the popcorn and watch me get it on. They've been waiting for this for a long time. You really? Uh-huh. Don't you want to see what the fucking spirit does? The Holy Spirit of Lilith? I don't know. There's this one guy that knows. He said it did it with him like 12 times. Ah, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. But in the essence, I want to see. We're talking about your performance levels or mine. It's usually about me. That's how I choked last time. I wasn't really worried about what... Never mind. That's not nice to say at all. I mean, I was, but I was more worried about myself. You self-centered, self-realized. Watch your tongue there, guy. It's funny. It's like, it started with, you sold me a lemon. God be bullshitting. He swears this is good enough. I'm like, I think you can do better. And that's what I teach you. God can do better. He will do better. He promises it can be better. Bitch, you promised. What is this? What is this? What is this? This is what you got to work with. And that's where I got stuck in these twin flame journeys. If I didn't learn how to love Russ, I was never going to get out of, that fight. I was never going to get out of fighting that. What does that mean? That no matter what kind of quirks or shortcomings or psychologically damaged issues or wherever he is financially or wherever he is in his journey, none of that, nothing about his material world is going to stop me from being the loving being that I am. I'm not going to give it doesn't depend on any of that. And that's what unconditional love is. You're getting it all, bro. You're getting it all. Like all of it, bro. And it's not because, in essence, it's a funny thing. It's not because I chose you. God chose you to be loved upon unconditionally. The full force of God's love in a female. They get quite scared about that, In the essence, I want to love you. And they're like, oh my God, she wants to love the shit out of me in ways that are very terrifying. Hey, that's what God meant for you. And we weren't meant to restrict it. And when we were teenagers, we had these fairy tale dreams of being like that until you got your heart hurt. And then you stopped loving people like that. You told yourself you can't love like that because you're going to get hurt. Right? What'd I tell you? That's what I kept doing, is restricting it. But it's in me to be a whole maniac. Homicidal love. That was what was wrong with Lilith. Lilith was made to love Adam. And she held it back and it ate her up. Really? Yeah, I mean, I had a lot of lovers. Does that count? I loved them with all my heart. But I didn't have that. And that's what I was made to do. God made me in that form. He made me, why do you think I'm in the flesh? I'm supposed to do that. And I didn't do it, so it's been built up for all eternity. I'm going to rip your flesh off your mouth. We're not going to roll the camera on this one. We might. I want to see this playback. I want to see what I did. Like, did you see what I did? Tell me what I did. Just kidding. I will be present. It's quite terrifying, right? Yeah. That's why my single life continues to stay single, because it's a little much. I'm a singular energy that doesn't collide well with other energies. Out of this world. Anyways, I just wanted to point that out. Is people, like, they want the best for you, and they're going to tell you how to, approach things the best way according to their experiences. And, cautionary, of course. You don't want to. Nobody wants you, like, oh God, you're going to push that, you're going to wear that on that date. They're all judgy and shit. And then it's like, oh, it could be like love at first sight. Dude, love is like that. And you just try to hold it until you can't. And then when you let it out, that's when things really start happening. The more you start loving this person, the more they love you back. But then something happens. I'm not sure what that something is. I'll tell you when we get to that part. Where do people stop falling in love? I think they stop loving the same things. I think that's what happens. They assume these roles that they have. I don't know. I'll let you know if I cross that road. Although we've come to the end of that road. In the essence, I don't know. I don't have the memories of my past marriages, but I have to believe that I love them to be in a marriage with them, right? That there was love in the beginning. But as we start to learn about these conditional loves and contracts, codependency, and toxic fucking traits that draw on another, that's suffering for the same, I guess, and that's what it looks like in history, is that, I took I was friends with benefits until I just, is what it looks like to me. I'm not sure. You know what I mean? Going back to my husband's, and it's like, were you in love with them? I don't think so. But they were friends, and we slept together, and then, I guess, you know what I mean? Through having children. No, because he called me his wife from the beginning, the first one. I told him I liked him, and that was all that it took. Actually, I didn't. I told the homeboy that I liked him, and the homeboy was like, "Hey, fool, she likes you." Right in front of my face. It was so embarrassing. He was like, "Oh, that's cool." And then he started, claiming me as his girl and shit. I just kind of got walked into a relationship. I don't know. I didn't walk out of it. It took a lot to get out of that motherfucker. Whoosh, whoosh. Going back to it, it's like, I mean, you can protect yourself, but only so much. Use a rubber, I suppose. But that makes no sense to me, too. Where I am is I shouldn't be giving to my body to someone I'm not giving my future to. So that's why I see it in that way. Nobody's just coming to sleep with me, dude. That's not how that works at all. If I can't, excuse the definition, if I can't raw dog you, then there's something wrong here to begin with. And so there's a lot more to the whole, all in kind of situation. And that's why God doesn't just let no fucking weirdo walk up and talk to me. They're all like, no, I'm you know how freaking spirits are hidden from you guys? That's how I am. I'm hidden from the real world too. Like, you don't see angels in front of you and shit like that. They don't see me. I mean, men notice me a lot, but they don't have it in them. God won't give it to them. They'll turn an eye. They're not supposed to. You're not supposed to approach her. She's a Holy Spirit. And those that do, it's out of reverence. Like, there's a lot of dudes, because I'm a dude energy. There's a lot of these, I'm looking at one right now that always says hi to me, him and his new baby. It's a respect, like a sisterly respect that they'll give to me. But men don't know. I can see that they feel it and they think all kinds of great things. But that's it, is God will not give you the authority to approach me. So it's also that too. It's like, this was divinely orchestrated for me to, for his divine comedy. Let's go ahead and live this out. What part of hell are we about to experience? They say it's heavenly. That's all I gotta say about that. My fucking card said the same shit. I confirmed it. I was arguing with their card readings. I've argued all the card readers. They're saying this is about to happen in July and all this shit. And my cards are confirming it too. That's why I was huffing and puffing through my earlier video. I got the fucking Emperor and the Lover's card and all that shit too, all up in my face. First thing in the morning. I'm like, get out of here. Get out of here. But that's it. It's like, are you going to keep running from this, or you're going to be that dumb person that you don't see this coming? I think you saw this coming. And that's really it. It's like, I'm seeing that movie that Ashton Kutcher and Brittany Murphy did, where they just got married, and then they tried to get divorced, and they're like, nah, you got to stick this out for like 3 months or some shit. They're like, no, wait, dude. Really? And they're like, yep, you had to stick it out. And so they went on a honeymoon. It was a really fucked up, it's called Just Married. It's a fucked up, funny movie. It's a fucked up, funny movie. But they end up, working it out. They may have just did it on an impulse, but it was meant to be. It was just like, you wake up the next, oh, Jesus. If I have one more drink song with Ludacris. I don't drink, but I do drive. And that's where it is. It's like, am I making logical mistakes? No. My brain isn't, you know, part of this equation. And if it does, it says that this is bad. I'm acting in my heart, and that's adventurous, optimistic, hopeful, not stupid and foolish. And that's the difference. It's like, this isn't my first rodeo. You go in there with an understanding, but ultimately you don't let that understanding stop you from experiencing. Because even though you think you know, you have no idea. Every experience is new, and you learn something new about each experience. That's where I'm going to stop at that. Is like, yeah, quit telling me not to fuck up my relationships. This is what I do for a professional around here. I'm a professional. You're challenging my authority, and I'm going to challenge you back. In the sense of, you're happily married. You're going to take the easy route, my friend. You're going to tell us how to, you know, make it easier for ourselves so we don't have to ride that wave. But you rode that motherfucking wave before you found that, before you crashed against land. You can tell from your stories there, Steve, talking about pulling out titties, and you might need to take a look. Hey, I love you guys. That's just it. I mean, take it with a grain of salt. They mean well. They're coming from a, you know, a heartfelt place, but you know, that's where it is do I do what I think is right, or do I do what I feel is right? And that's where it was. I stop when it doesn't feel right. This doesn't feel right. No, it's all good. No, it don't feel right. And that's where you're safe. You're safe in your feelings, even though you don't know them. You're safe in them. That's your spirit. That's your guiding. That's your divine feminine. You're safe in your feelings. You know, it's safe to love. This is going to be fun. That's what you said last Friday. Now you want to come out here and try to fucking confuse a bitch. No, it's safe to love. You know what I mean? Love without restriction. You know, but at the same time, don't do it, you know, dangerously, where you're out there drinking and fucking, you know what I mean, doing cocaine and trying to beg somebody's love. Give love. You know what I mean? It's safe to give love, is what that means. And that's all. And, you know, you want it to be balanced and everything. But I can tell you from my experience, a lot of the exchange of love, more of the excitement comes from the giving than the receiving, because I really haven't received it. But I enjoy this journey just giving it. Giving love has been a great journey for me. I'm very single. Like that post said, me and what's their faces pretend like we're in love from time to time, but I'm very single. You know what I mean? And that's it. It's like the whole adventure is like, it's more about, and that's what it was. It was exciting to love on someone and give them attention and affection again. It felt good to give love. And because I'm such a weenie, you know, time and attention is a form of love to me. So, you know, just the exchange of me giving you what I do best is, you know, affection and attention. I get attention and time, which is, you know, it's a fair exchange for me, is what I think. But then it builds on to something, you know, some other weird, creepy conversations where you sent me a dick pic and now I don't know what I'm supposed to do with it. And I end up talking about marriage. It's kind of where that boat went. But I was always talking about it. And that's okay. Have the hard conversations. And that's what I was mad at Russ. It's like, Russ, you don't sit down and talk about this shit, bro. Boundaries and what, you know, you don't talk about all this harsh shit. And if you did, you'd be a fucking fucked up single like me. They don't want to hear that shit. They want your money, bitch. They want your pussy. They want this. They want that. In the essence, and I'm teaching people, but in the teaching I'm learning, and it's a fucked up ride, but, you know, we're not going to learn off of somebody else's journey. You have to take your own. And that's what I'm telling Russ. Wait till you have to have these conversations, bro. Or you're not. You're going to take the easy route, as they said in that fucking card. It's easier just to stay where you are than to have to start over with what's your favorite color, right? Confirmation. My favorite color is purple. And I gotta go do some shopping and stuff. I love you guys. Later, haters. Bye.